Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, and today I'm hanging out with
Nerdarchy Dave.
And we got a GM 911. Can this player solo the game by himself?
If you have a GM 911 or even a viewer suggestion, you can send it to nerdarchy@gmail.com or head over to our forums and post it there.
So we've got a player who, despite having great charisma, mechanically well built, he's able to do more than he actually does, and over the course of 10 levels has even stepped out of the face character at times to give everybody at the table an equal shot.
Right.
Well, the DM says that in a recent encounter, the power level of this particular character and his build really shined, and now the other players at the table are thinking that this guy is too powerful and that he could handle the game himself. And the DM's like, well, what do I do? Do I force him to play a new character, or how do I handle it?
All right, so I just don't get this because my play experience is not borne this out. He's a Dragon Sorcerer 4, Tome Lock 4, College of Lore Bard 2. Technically, he's not even a College of Lore Bard yet. He's not high enough level to be a College of anything, right? Like I keep hearing multiclassing is powerful and it's OP and blah blah blah. It's bullshit. It's not, because let's dissect this character, right? He's got eight spellcasting levels, right? You have to take 2 levels of Warlock and just set it aside. If you have a straight caster in your group, they're a 10th level caster, and they are casting 5th level spells. He cannot cast. He cannot cast. He doesn't have a 5th level slot yet, for one. Almost. He has a 4th level slot, and he doesn't have access to 4th level spells.
He doesn't have access to anything higher than 2nd level spells.
Yes.
The best he is casting is his cantrips, because the cantrip scale.
Yeah, so they're actually better now because they're 10th level. So, and also being with his spellcasting, with all of his spellcasting classes, they all have spells known. So he doesn't even have versatility with his spells. He's going to have a bunch of low-level spells to access. He's not going to have very many spells from being a warlock, because yes, they refresh after a short rest, but it depends on how many short rests you're having. That they're only going to be a certain level. Oh, I totally screwed that up. He's only a 6th level caster.
Okay.
He's not even, and that's over the two classes.
Warlock is going to be separate.
Yes,
those levels come out there.
Right. So he's got 4 levels of Warlock.
Right. So with a 6th level caster, that's even less options.
Yeah. So my point stands. Like, I don't understand how this character is coming across so powerful. He's gonna have a ton of cantrips to use.
Well, what does it say here for his major focuses are in Blast and the meta magic with Hex and Dissonant Whispers.
So he's got 4 sorcery points as a 4th level sorcerer.
Right.
So they're only going to go so far, or you have to start swapping out spells.
Right.
Again, you only have so many spells, and 2nd level's the highest, so you're only going to get so many sorcery points for those. Or you can swap your sorcery points for more spell slots for more casting. I don't know. Maybe he's twinning, but Eldritch Blast and Hex is kind of his thing. So that's not an effective combination, because you can't. It's not like you can twin. You can't twin Eldritch Blast because it's a multi-shot.
Correct.
Thing. So you can't even do that.
But he could twin Hex and then Eldritch Blast both those targets.
He could, but that is far less effective in combat than
just Eldritch Blasting twice.
No, it's not so much that. It's far less effective than focus fire on one target. Because anytime you attack multiple targets, and it's not just a straight up area effect spell, you're reducing all of their hit points. But because of the way D&D works and other games like this, it doesn't matter. They're at full strength until they're dead. You haven't diminished them against you at all.
Right.
So you attack 2 opponents, but they're 2 opponents that are going to attack you. By focus fire, you could possibly drop 1 opponent and have less attacks coming at you.
Correct.
So it's not really a great. It's not really a great way of doing things.
So part of me begs the question:
What are the other players doing?
What are the other players, and what type of adversaries is the GM throwing at them? Now, sadly, we don't have those answers here.
Yeah.
But I've played multi-class characters, and I enjoy the way some things mesh together, and it is possible, like, at low levels, if you're splitting, you do tend to suffer a little bit. About mid-game, you can see the versatility offering a major advantage, but late game, you are at such a deficit that my spellcaster, who was multi-classed, was significantly less powerful than the straight wizard that joined the party.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this time and time again. Like, even in this example, if they have any spellcasters that are straight spellcasters and have not multi-class, they should probably be outshining this guy. In whatever area, like even a cleric at 5th level can flame strike.
So what? Where did this GM one come from?
Oh, this one's over on Facebook.
Okay, so I don't have the thing, but so to offer to the GM, what can you do? I would sit down with each of your players and make sure that they're playing their characters to their utmost. Possibly have this guy who's mechanically built, in their opinion, a superior character, say, well, let me help you, let me coach you. This guy is clearly a veteran player.
Yeah, he even says that his players are newer and this guy's a veteran. Yeah.
So that should be happening anyway. It's really important that in this hobby that those with experience lift up the other players, not just be like, okay, well, I made this awesome dude, I'm not going to show you how, I'm not going to tell you how I'm awesome. Look at your options. I'm certain that at 10th level, that fightery character is able to do a lot of things. If he's a champion, he's got the ability to get those crits more often. If he's a battle master, he's got the ability to pull off these awesome maneuvers and help him make choices. Okay, well, this is the type of
weapon. I believe a champion too at 10th level, you've picked up your second fighting style as well. So like here's the thing. Like one. I'm sorry to derail your train of thought. But one, it's already been stated, this guy has basically pulled back his character to not hog the spotlight and not outshine the other players. It was necessary in a couple spots, so he stepped up his game.
Right.
2, the players kind of want him to stop playing this character, right? Which is unfair to the person that's playing, especially when he's been pretty much behaving, right?
Right.
3, here's the other problem. That's great. He comes to the table with another character, a 10th level character. That's not multi-class. That's single class. He is probably going to play the fuck out of the rest of that group anyway. And he could probably dial it up and be even more effective if he chose to. So that's not even a solution. It doesn't fix the real problem. The real problem is, like Ted says, sit down with your players. Maybe this guy would be willing to help. It sounds like he's a team player, and he would be. And analyze each of the characters in front of them.
If he's the type of person that is pulling back from face to allow everybody to have their own time in the spotlight, I have to think he's the type of player that outside the table is going to be just as willing to give the other people their due. So, yeah, sit down as a group an hour before you're supposed to start. Or take the time and say, okay, all right, what did we do? What are you not doing, or how can we make this character better than what he is without making any changes? Because every character combination has the ability to shine and perform, because that's the way 5th edition is built.
Yeah, there's positives and negatives to each of the classes, each of the races, to all the combinations. And again, too, you have to instill that the game's about the story, is telling a story as well. It's not just about combat and mechanical advantages. The DM, for his part, did point out, look, there's all these instances where this character can't actually do anything. He's not a stealth character. He can't heal. He's not doing that stuff. I mean, as a second level bard, he can take healing now, and he's not going to be that great at it anyway.
Well, I mean, he would have access to cure wounds. He'd have access to the spell slots.
Yes.
So I mean, he's got the ability to really take care of that if need be.
Well, third level slots. In comparison,
Yeah. Yes. I mean, in relation to a cleric at the table, he's not going to perform as well. But do they have a cleric in the group? Are they a bunch of fighters and thieves and this one spellcaster? I mean, did he take levels of bard just to be able to cover the cleric angle of things and be able to nitpick the other abilities?
Right, and also go playing to the things that we don't understand. The other thing is, you want to shut this character down? Put him against an enemy spellcaster with counterspell. I love counterspell. Reaction, boom. You're not casting spells this round. And that's outside of anything else. Anything else that spellcaster does.
Right.
Or if there's multiple spellcasters, they could literally shut this character down every round.
Yes.
And he would have to find another option. And he's not high enough level to even force a check.
Correct. Because he's not doing anything higher than third level.
Yes.
So like this guy could literally be like, all right, I'm just going to blast cantrips and I'm going to counter everything you do.
Now, granted, it would.
It's a dick move.
No, it's not,
Well,
because it requires spell slots to keep doing that. And,
true, but
cantrip does not. So eventually, the caster would run out of spell slots. So it would shut that. It would shut down his spell slots, and even still, that player would be performing a useful service. But it would be a way to illustrate that this character is not as powerful as you think.
Right. Well, what I'm saying, it's a dick move to show that it can be done, and that would be an encounter designed to target that particular character
Or any spellcaster.
Well, true. Now, if you say, all right, they're a 10th level party, they can handle a challenge 13. I think that's approximately where the Archmage comes in. The Archmage NPC that's in the back of the monster manual.
Yeah, it's CR12.
12. Okay, my apologies. So like he's got a lot of spell slots. So if he's like, I'm gonna nickel and dime you.
He could do that for quite a few rounds.
He could nickel and dime you with cantrips and low level spells, while he's using his more powerful spell slots just to shut this guy down, and it would prove a point to the players that okay, this is something that can be done, and it would allow them to shine. Now, if you play up the story angle of it, that this particular character has incurred this guy's wrath and he's coming in to
you
prove
do,
a point.
right? Here's what you do, and this would be fun for you as the GM, I think, and for the party. Right, so you blow out of proportions the whole this character's renown, right? And so the Archmage has heard of him, right? And he's come gunning for him, and you got to give him a wave of minion monsters like orcs or something,
right?
Throw it out there in front to mess with the rest of the party. And basically, he does do that. He hangs in the back and he just shuts down spell after spell while spamming his cantrips, first and second level spells on the party. But that being said, this is a veteran player. He seems to be creative, and it'd be cool to see what he comes up with to do it. And obviously, you can't do this all the time. One encounter, I think it's fine. It would be kind of cool to do this whole showdown almost thing, Wild Wild West style. He's heard of you. This town ain't big enough for the both of us, and really play on what the other players have been saying.
Right.
And you'll see that it's just not going to hold up.
Right.
And then at the same time you flood the battlefield with monsters that are really inconsequential. Things that are XP 10, 25, 50. So the CRs from
1 and under.
From 0 to 1, yeah, 1 or under, exactly like you said. Just to tie up the other players and show.
And they're gonna mow through as being fighters and rogues and
whatever they are.
That are they're just gonna clear through this wave, and if they start making progress and your point hasn't come across, feel free to bring in wave number 2. A portal opens and out floods more, and have him do it as I interacted with my ring, and it's a free action to send in the second wave. remember, as a GM, you don't have to follow the standard rules that players do. If you want to bring more monsters in, you don't need this guy casts a spell to make it happen.
Right, they can just come in for whatever reason. That could be part of the adventure. Yeah. You could have the Warlock Bard Dragon Sorcerer kind of get slapped down, and
these guys get to be the heroes.
And these guys get to be the heroes, or the Archmage kind of just leaves and is like, these stories were greatly exaggerated, and I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, he just teleports away
and just leaves. Yeah,
let them fight away, and
Now, this being said, you have to gauge your player and make sure you're not going to piss off this player and that he's going to be a good sport with it.
Right.
Obviously you don't want any lasting effects to happen. Perhaps, you give him some role-playing things that kind of bite into with, like, now he's this animosity towards this character, and, he has his own villain that now he's gunning for. Mm-hmm. You want to do it in a way that's going to uplift your table, too. You don't want to just beat down one player. You might even be like, hey, I got this idea to illustrate these things, and discuss it with him and see if he would be a good sport with it, or if he's going to get angry about it.
Right.
Or feel like you're picking on him.
Something tells me that this veteran player is a really good guy, and if you approach him and say, "Hey, look, the table's upset about this. This is how we're gonna fix the problem."
Yeah, I would like to illustrate some things, at your expense.
for one, we're going to talk to these new players and find a way to lift them up, and then mechanically in the game, I'm gonna put forth this adventure. You're gonna suck. You're not gonna enjoy this encounter. It'll give you a chance to repartee with them. You can use your bardic inspiration on your fellow players so that they perform better in mowing through the people, while your spells just kind of do nothing.
You get fizzled, yeah. And I wouldn't give out all the details because, for one, you want some of it to be a surprise, and two, the player may come up with some interesting things that that you didn't think of, and I would allow for that as well.
True.
But and it depends on what his selection of meta magics are. Mm-hmm. So there is also the possibility that he has he's able to cast some spells as bonus actions or reactions of his own,
right.
So that in this instance, he will get stuff off, but let's face it, he's not doing anything higher than a 3rd level spell. Right. So what's he really going to do to the Archmage anyway, who has spell resistance?
Right.
So he's still, no matter what, he would be kind of limited.
Right.
And guys, I do not recommend doing this in your games. This is a one-off thing. It is kind of a dick move, and that's why we're kind of like, well, maybe you should talk to the guy. I'm not even sure that this is a route to go, route that should be traveled
Dave
down.
is only for stomping on the knockdown players' faces when it's player in his own game. He doesn't recommend that to you guys.
Right, yeah. So hey, listen, we all laughed. It was good. Well, Ted didn't laugh. Everybody else laughed. So again, this is one solution, maybe not the best one, but the other ones are solid. Having to sit down,
talk to the players, elevate their characters, let them see how the things that they've already chosen work well together, and what they can do to be more effective with the characters they've already created. Because the system is clearly set up that a single class character is more powerful than multi-classed.
Yeah, that's our experience. More options as a multi-class, sure, but they're not more powerful options. Right. So there's very few things that you can do that's going to be more powerful. One of the few things is action surge combined with spellcasting. But again, you're going to do it once and then it's done.
Right. Right.
It's not something you're doing over and over again.
So what do you guys think? Do you have any feedback that we've missed out? Do you want to weigh in on any of our ideas? Put them in the comments below while you're at it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
As always, down in the description, you can find the original post. And while you're down there, I don't know what I was going to say. But anyway, check us out on Facebook.
So until next time, stay nerdy.
Yet he's not high enough level to be a college of anything, right? I keep hearing multiclassing is powerful and it's OP and blah blah blah. It's bullshit. It's not, because let's dissect this character, right? He's got eight spellcasting levels, right? You have to take 2 levels of Warlock and just set it aside. If you have a straight caster in your group, they're a 10th level caster, and they are casting 5th level spells.
Mechanically well built. He's able to do more than he actually does, and over the course of 10 levels has even stepped out of the face character at times to give everybody at the table an equal shot.
Right.
Well, the DM says that in a recent encounter, the power level of this particular character and his build really shined, and now the other players. Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Ted, and today I'm hanging out with
Nerdarchy Dave.
And we got a GM 911. Can this player solo the game by himself?
If you have a GM 911 or even a viewer suggestion, you can send it to nerdarchy@gmail.com or head over to our forums and post it there.
So we've got a player who, despite having great charisma, players at the table are thinking that this guy is too powerful and that he could handle the game himself. And the DM's like, well, what do I do? Do I force him to play a new character, or how do I handle it?
All right, so I just don't get this, because my play experience has not borne this out. He's a Dragon Sorcerer 4, Tome Lock 4, College of Lore Bard 2. Technically, he's not even a College of Lore. He cannot cast. He cannot cast. He doesn't have a 5th level slot yet, for one. He almost. He has a 4th level slot, and he doesn't have access to 4th level spells.
He doesn't have access to anything higher than 2nd level spells.
Yes.
The best he is casting is his cantrips, because the cantrip scale.
Yeah, so they're actually better now because they're 10th level.